Now that the weather's cooled down, the boys have decided they're going to go out and buy some kayaks. Scott in particular has gone out and bought himself a nice little pedal kayak. But the problem we had was loading on and off those roof racks. So what we did was we started looking around Perth at some kayak holders. Cameron went out and bought the big brand names from a major outlet, which we won't go into because it's not endorsed. Whereas I said to Scott, well, why don't we just see what the cheaper ones look like and let's see if they work. This is what we came up with. We've bought these off eBay. 69 bucks for the full set with all mounting hardware. And today we're going to show you exactly how to fit them on the car and why these are such a fantastic advantage for all kayak anglers. The kayak we're going to be putting on the top of the car is going to be a Next Gen 11 by Kayaks 2 Fish. And what I'll do is I'll run you through the full process from start to finish on exactly how we put these on the car. And once we're done, we'll have a clear understanding of the quality of these, how well they mount, how sturdy they are, and how well they hold the kayak compared to the major competitor of the big brand, which we will be sort of doing a comparison of in a further video once these are fitted. So look, let's get straight to it. We're going to be putting them on a set of Rhino racks on top of Scott's Kia here. And what we want to do first is just ensure that we've got all the right stuff to mount it. Now what we're going to need is a ladder, because that just makes things easy. Simple spanner, and of course a tape measure to make sure we've got our measurements right. Now if you follow me over here, I'll just show you what we're going to do. Remove the end cap off your roof racks. Okay, these ones have had a bit of a hard life, but that's okay. Just start peeling out the rubber. Now we're going to want the ones on the passenger side to be closer to the edge, because that's what side Scott loads his kayak from. So this is where we're going to load it from first. So what I'm going to do is I'm quickly just going to go get some pieces, and I'll meet you back here when I've got the rack ready to go. So as you can see here, I've done the exact same on the back rack as I have on the front rack, and I've removed the rubber stripping and the end cap. So this is as simple as it gets with these. We're going to get the mounting, I don't know, whatever you want to call them. Let's call them mounting screws for what it's worth. We're going to insert two straight in there. We're going to get our kayak holder and make sure that it's facing the right and wrong way. So as you can see, you've got full articulation to a vertical position on that side, and this side blocks off. Okay, so this is the way here we're going to want it mounted. Simply just get your little mounting screws and line them up with the holes, like so. Bring it over to where the rubber starts there. You've got a beautiful little lip here which goes over it. I'll push that back so you can see. So we've got a nice little raise here which goes over the top of this rubber, which is a fantastic idea. And then this is as simple as it gets. We're just going to get the nuts, excuse my fingers, be carefully not to cross thread them of course, and start doing them up. Now as the mounting bolts that we've put in have got square bases on them, when they're in that track, of course they won't spin. So you don't want to watch me screwing up nuts and bolts. So what I'll do is I'll leave you here. I'm going to get this one finished, I'll get the back one put on, and then we're going to catch you in the next scene and show you exactly how we're going to measure it up for the perfect kayak fit. Catch you in a minute. Okay, and so now that we've got the first side done, we've got the kayak up on the roof now. What we're going to do is we're going to install the second side. Now the second side, when dealing with this, because we don't obviously know how much rubber we're going to have to take off, may need a Stanley trimmer, but we'll see. So what we've done is we've pretty much worked out exactly how far forward we want the kayak to sit. We are then going to remove both end caps off the front and back roof rack, and then just start peeling this up. Okay, now we've got to work out roughly where it wants to be. Now as you see, we are going to need a Stanley trimmer for this. So we'll just push this up and push this up. Now we know we're going to need to make some cuts, and we're going to have to get this sorted. Now when we put these on, because I won't take you through me running to go get a Stanley trimmer, you don't need to see that. The kayak has either two ways we can have it. We can have it elevated off the roof rack, or we can have it sitting down flush on the roof rack. We're going to choose to elevate this kayak. So what it's going to mean I'm going to do is I'm going to trim these rubber pieces here. I'm going to push the frame on, and then I'm going to get someone to give me a hand and lift the back of the kayak up only maybe a couple of centimeters while I push this frame underneath to get the elevated position and then lock down my locking nuts. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go get the Stanley trimmer now. I'm going to get all this done, and I'll see you as soon as I've got the kayak elevated, and I'll show you exactly how we got it done and why we did it the way we did. All right, let's get to this bit. So as you can see, we've got rid of the rubber stripping here. We've cut it to where we needed to cut it. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to get Scott here just to lift the back of the kayak up until I say when, and we're going to get the perfect height to slide these underneath. All right, Scott, up we go. So that there is roughly where we're going to want it. So what I'm going to do, while Scott holds that nice and tightly there, he's got the hard job, I've got the easy one, is I'm just going to quickly get this back bracket here. Get the spanner while everything's where I need it. And we're just going to tighten that up. So Scott, you should be able to let that go now. And as you can see, just underneath here, well, you might not be able to see, but there's about a 1 centimetre gap, which is absolutely perfect, because when we tie this kayak down, it's going to come down a bit lower. So I'll get on to doing the front, getting the front at the exact same height as the back, and then and get it all tightened up, and we'll show you the next step after that. Right, so we've got both of our mounts done now, and you know what, for a cheap eBay kit, these feel reasonably solid, and they've gone on really nice and easy. So what we're going to do is we're going to put the rubber back in to the roof rack here, like so. Just manipulate her in. She always likes being manipulated. And then what we're going to do is look for the dodgy razor blade and just going to trim that exactly where we need it. I suggest using proper tools. But you know, there we go, we made a dog's breakfast of that. Not my car though. And then all we're going to do is throw the end cap back on like that, and neat as you like. So we'll get the back one done, and then we'll give you a wrap up and a bit of a review on what we think. Right, so there she is all mounted up. What we didn't notice was actually in the packet, you get these little tie down straps, which under here they connect up to the little U-shaped holder, I guess you'd say. Look, they should do the trick. They're only just long enough for a good fishing kayak like this. We've managed to tighten them up pretty good. But let's jump down here. We'll give the kayak a bit of a rock, a roll, a pull, a push, and we'll see how she holds. So we've come down the back of the kayak, which is going to be the easiest vantage point for me to pull and push and whatnot. Now this is where you work out whether you really have spaced it correctly. If I try and push it from side to side, the brackets are only flexing exactly how they're meant to do. Provide a bit of cushion, and you can see that's in the kayak there. I can get a bit of movement out the kayak there, but I'm going to say that's due to the cheaper quality straps. I really think that you should be using proper cam buckle straps so you can get a little bit more on them and so forth. To be honest with you, for the $69 compared to the $180 you'd pay for a big brand, these seem to be pretty good. I definitely trust my kayak with them. They've fitted up beautifully. They've done a great job, and I mean, look, at the end of the day, they're nice and neat. There's not really much you can ask for. Obviously, let's give it 6 months on top of the roof to see how it fares up with the Perth weather, because you know we're in the middle of winter at the moment. So once we get a bit of salt on them and so forth, they may start to rust. We don't know. But look, my overall opinion on these is pretty good. I think you should definitely have a look at these if you're in the market and you're on a bit more of a budget. They fit well, they do everything well, they hold this kayak absolutely magnificently. Just probably do away with those straps and I think you're going to be all right. Well guys, I hope this was of somewhat informative to you and you know a little bit handy. We'll certainly get the expensive ones that Cameron's installed on his car on video and do a bit of a comparison on the pros and cons of the both, and we'll see how we go. All right, catch you next time.